All right, let's take a look at knowledge check 18.5.1. Here we're going to use tidyverse package and data sets from complete journey. Number one says filter for all transactions in the grocery department and plot the quantity on the x-axis and sales value on the y-axis. All right, so to do this, we need to take our transactions data. We're going to go ahead and join this. I'm going to do an inner join with the products data. And now what I'm going to do is filter this data set for all those transactions where department variable equals grocery. So let's run that. And we now see we have reduced number of transactions. And if we scroll over, we should see that they all are occurring in the grocery department. Okay, so I've got the transactions I care about. Next it says plot the quantity on the x-axis and the sales value on the y-axis. So let's go ahead and pipe this right into ggplot. And I want to have quantity on the x and then sales value on the y. And we'll go ahead and make this a scatter plot. So geom point. And there is our plot. All right, so number two says color all the points in the above plot red. Now color the points in number one based on the household size variable. All right, so let's go ahead and just copy this code. And what it wants us to do is, the first step is instead of having our points be black, let's go ahead and make our points be red. So to do that, directly in the geom of interest, we want to color those geometric shapes a certain color. So I can do that just by specifying what color I want the points to be. And now we see our output has our points in red. Now the second part of this was now color the points in number one based on the household size variable. Okay, well, you'd have to think about this because we'd have to go back to the demographics data, and this is where household size exists right here. So household size, that would be this variable right here, and it wants us to color the points based off of that variable. Well, to do that, what we actually need to do is we're going to need to do another join to the demographics data. All right, so now what we're doing is we're taking transactions, joining to the products data, and then joining to the demographics data. Then we filter for all those transactions in the grocery store, and then we're going to go ahead and plot this. But what I'm going to do is take this color equals red, get rid of that, and within AES, I'm going to say color based off of a certain variable, and in this case, it is household size. And now we see, it's kind of tough to decipher all the different points, but we see we have a different color for each of the household size values, and we can see that reflected in our plot. All right, the last thing is use size to change the size of all points to 0.5. Now map the household size variable to size within AES. Okay, so I'm going to take this very similar code up here. I'm going to make some minor modifications. Okay, so basically what I care about here is, first of all, let's get rid of this color. And this takes us back to our original plot where we have the quantity and sales value plot against each other, and everything is just colored black. Okay, kind of our default plot. And the first thing it says is go ahead and change the size of the points to 0.5. So let's go ahead, size equals 0.5. And when I do that and plot that, we see our points are much smaller. And then I could go ahead, and the second part of this says now map the household size variable to size within AES. So instead of using size to manually change all the sizes, all the point sizes, we can go ahead and again map a variable to this size argument. And in this case, it is household size. And when we do that, this is a little bit ugly, but we can see that we get a different size for the individual household size values. There have been some use cases where I've seen this actually work out and tell a good story. For the most part, I would say using the colors to decipher, or even what we'll see a little bit later on, faceting the plots to show different scatter plots for the different household sizes is a much better solution. But this at least kind of gets you understanding how we can change different components of geometric shapes, either manually or based on another variable.